Russia is dramatically ramping up weapons production, signaling a readiness for prolonged conflict and raising global security alarms.
Today, we're bringing you an urgent report that impacts global stability. Russia's defense industry is undergoing an unprecedented surge, massively increasing its production of artillery shells. This isn't just about the conflict in Ukraine. It's a stark warning about a shift towards a prolonged confrontation, rattling security frameworks across the globe. We're talking about a scale of military output unseen in decades, and it carries profound implications for everyone. NATO intelligence estimates suggest Russia is now producing around 3 million artillery shells per year. This immense output is creating a significant imbalance on the battlefield and sending a clear message: Russia is preparing for the long haul.
To understand the gravity of this situation, we need to look at the conflict's evolution. The war in Ukraine has transformed into a brutal battle of fires, where artillery dominance is key. Early in the conflict, both sides faced ammunition shortages, but Russia has since pivoted dramatically, shifting its entire industrial complex into wartime overdrive. Since 2022, Russia's military spending has soared, and factories are running around the clock. This industrial mobilization is a deliberate strategy to outpace Western support for Ukraine, creating an unsustainable burden on Ukraine's defenders. The aim is clear: to wear down opposition through sheer volume of fire. This isn't a short-term gamble, it's a fundamental recalibration of Russia's military posture, indicating a long-term commitment to its objectives.
What's fueling this immense military expansion? It boils down to a blend of strategic intent, massive financial investment, and a mobilized workforce. Firstly, Russia's military budget for 2025 is projected at an astonishing $142 billion, a 25% increase from previous years. This means the defense sector now accounts for roughly 6 to 7% of Russia's GDP, more than doubling pre-war levels. Furthermore, Russia's military-industrial complex employs an estimated 3.5 million people, working to produce not just shells but also other crucial war materiel. This commitment signifies an economy deeply restructured for conflict, funneling vast resources into its war machine, despite sanctions and economic pressures on other sectors. The scale of this financial and human investment is a powerful signal of Russia's strategic ambitions. This aggressive ramp-up by Russia creates a critical imbalance compared to Western production capabilities. Consider the raw numbers. Russia is estimated to produce 3 million artillery shells annually, while the combined output of the United States and European allies for Ukraine stands at approximately 1.2 million per year. This 2.5 to 1 ratio on an annual basis means a stark disparity on the front lines, where Russian forces have been observed firing around 10,000 shells a day compared to Ukraine's 2,000. This gap isn't just a military statistic. It translates to immense pressure on Ukrainian forces and highlights the challenge facing NATO allies in matching Russia's industrial scale. The economic cost is also significant. A Russian 152mm shell costs about $1,000 to produce, while a NATO 155mm shell costs around $4,000. This makes it even harder for the West to compete on volume. So, what does this aggressive rearmament mean for global peace and for us, the everyday people? Experts warn this surge in production signals Russia's intent for a prolonged conflict, potentially extending beyond Ukraine. NATO has already declared Russia the most significant and direct threat to Allied security, bolstering its defenses across Eastern Europe and launching new missions like Arctic Sentry to counter increased Russian military activity. There are also growing fears of a new arms race, particularly with the recent expiration of the New START nuclear treaty between the U.S. and Russia. This era of heightened military readiness demands renewed focus on diplomatic solutions and risk mitigation as the potential for escalation grows. The world is entering a more dangerous and unpredictable period. The bottom line is clear. Russia's massive increase in shell production is a stark warning. It underscores an intensifying geopolitical landscape where military readiness is escalating. For ordinary citizens, this highlights the critical importance of advocating for peace, supporting diplomatic efforts, and understanding the complex dynamics that can pull us closer to wider conflict. Maintaining stability and seeking pathways to de-escalation are more vital than ever in a world facing such profound military shifts. It reminds us that peace isn't a given, it's a continuous, active pursuit.
This is GeeseFinance.